Thank you for joining us on the Real Producers Beyond the Pages podcast. Sam Luccherini here, and I've got two very special guests. We've got George Brockman with Achosa Home Warranty and Realtor Mikaela Rehmert-Fira. I say that right?
You did.
Okay, thank God. All right, guys. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about home warranties, business with family members, real estate, and everything in between. So on that note, George, kick us off. Tell us a little bit about you, your history in this industry, and why you chose Miss Mikaela.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
So I've been in the home warranty space for 8 years now. And much like real estate, it's like dog years. So I feel like maybe it's
more like 60-some years.
Yeah, 60-some years.
Yeah.
And I'm really only 22 years old, so I feel like I've aged well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, salt and pepper looks great.
Right? Yeah. So been in the home warranty space 8 years. I'm on my second company, and the switch has been nothing but amazing. Mm-hmm. I've got my life back. It's a space that is everything starts from a negative frame of reference, right? So someone doesn't have air conditioning or they don't have hot water.
Mm-hmm. Only one way to go up.
Only one way to go up. And so it's a challenging space, but switched companies a couple years ago to Achosa, and it's been literally life-changing. But my favorite thing about the industry is, and this I learned very early on, it's really a relationship business. Mm-hmm. I mean, everything we do, and it's not exclusive to the real estate community, but certainly the real estate community, it's a relationship-based industry.
Yeah.
And getting to know and develop relationships with people across the industry over the last 8 years has been nothing short of amazing.
Yeah, it brings you business, but it fills your cup.
Yeah, and you develop friendships outside of just the business.
That's true.
So,
That's true. So when did you meet Mikaela, and why did you choose Mikaela as your realtor guest today?
So Mikaela was probably, well, first of all, let me take a step back. We became PenFed's preferred warranty partner a little over a year ago. Mm-hmm. And I think Mikaela was one of the first agents that saw the value proposition that we offer and bought in.
It seems like a no-brainer, honestly.
It's been nothing short of amazing. And we feel very fortunate and very lucky to be partnered with PenFed. There was a series of events that led up to that happening, and I feel very lucky and fortunate that it did, and it's been a great relationship. But I think Mikaela was one of the first ones that really saw the value proposition and jumped in with both feet. And thankfully, we had some claim experiences early that went really well, and it really kind of solidified Mikaela's loyalty and has been a great proponent for us. And even to the point where I've actually been able to text or call Mikaela and say, hey, I need some help. Do you know a plumber? Someone else was looking for a plumber. And because of her history in the industry and the depth of knowledge and the people that she knows, she's been a great resource and great partner.
Good cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. I love that. All right, Miss Mikaela. So tell us a little bit about your history in this real estate market.
Well, I became a real estate agent back in 2005. I started with Prudential Denning Beard under Willie Keeley, and I've been with the company ever since. We actually became Berkshire Hathaway in 2013, and I have a team of about 10 agents now. That started back in 2013. My first agent that came on with me was Aaron Hanneberg. About a year ago, I actually joined forces with Toby Andrews, so we're now actually Rehmert Andrews and Associates. I have actually 2 daughters that are on my team also.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, it is pretty cool.
Creating some legacy there.
Family, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It either goes really well when you work with them or not well at all. So I'm glad that it's going very well.
Yes. So far. I don't know how well they like it, but
hey, they're still in it, so that's all that matters. Okay.
So, but I really enjoy this industry, and George makes it much easier helping deal with clients. So, yes. I always call it. Yesterday, I had an agent that was asking about home warranties, and I said, "Oh, you mean BG?" And he said, "Well, what's that?" And I said, "Before George."
Oh, that's cute. That. I like it. We can make that a hashtag.
Yeah. Right?
Yes, that's very good. Okay, so then with this crazy real estate industry at the moment, and this is a question for both of you, what is a word or a couple of words that you would use to describe the market from your point of view today?
Extremely competitive.
Yeah, it's still like that. Yeah, George, what are you seeing?
Of course, my perspective comes from that of affiliate, not necessarily a real estate agent.
Right.
And I think for the last several months, a frenzy would kind of be a word that I'd use to describe how things were going. But we're starting to see that shift a little bit.
Yeah. Back to some good practices, because I know that you and I have discussed at length that in this very competitive industry, a lot of things have been dropping off. And in my personal opinion, I see that as a lack of fiduciary responsibility on an agent's part when they're not pushing for inspections, they're not pushing for home warranties. Even if it's their own client, their own, buyer client that needs to purchase that home warranty, right. It's a disservice if they're not doing that. So I do hope at least to see a little bit of that frenzy subside and see some of these important things come back to the contracts.
Absolutely. And I was, Mikaela and I were talking before we got started. 8 years in the space, and literally the last 4 weeks I've been busier than I've ever been. And
wow, that's a great sign.
It's a great sign. And the really bonus part of that is it's not escalated claims. I'm not dealing with people that don't have air conditioning or don't have hot water. I'm answering questions about coverage and, hey, I need a brochure.
Good.
And hey, can you consult with my buyer on how the coverage works and how the process works? So all amazing, great conversations with the realtors that I get to do business with every day. But literally the last 4 weeks, I've been busier than I've ever been in 8 years.
Good. Well, I'm glad you made time to get here today.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes, this is the fun stuff. This is the fun work that we get to do. All right, very nice. So then, George, on that, what is your 5-year goal with Achosa in our Wichita market? Because you cover several markets.
I have a big footprint.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my goal for Wichita is to become the warranty of choice. Again, very fortunate, very lucky that some things broke my way when I first started coming to Wichita, and have developed some great relationships and great partnerships. But I think the ultimate goal is to become the warranty of choice when it comes to the real estate community. And we're starting to see that a little bit. One telltale sign, I think, for me and my experience in the industry is that when a realtor calls you and says, hey, Mikaela referred me to you. She said that if I'm going to use home warranty, I need to talk to you. And so when you start getting business partner referrals, I think that's a telltale sign that people are talking and the word is spreading.
Excellent proof.
And so we've got a long way to go. I mean, I think usage of home warranty in the industry has been down quite a bit the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's starting to shift. But to become the household name for home warranty in Wichita, I think that would obviously have to be the goal.
I like it. That's a great goal. All right, Miss Mikaela, what outside of real estate, what do you spend a majority of your time doing?
Well, I spend a lot of time at our lake house at Grand Lake. We have started doing a lot of traveling. We actually leave for Mexico tomorrow.
Oh,
so
good.
That's going to be fun.
Perfect timing. I love that. Where in Mexico do you get to go?
We are going just outside of Cancun on this trip.
Okay.
And we're actually going to, I believe, it's a curated trip on the next month. I would have to actually check to see exactly where we're going. It's a resort called El Cid.
Okay.
Next month. But it's somewhere in Mexico. I'll
Good.
have to check that one out.
Yes, it's a nice, easy trip to get down there to some warm water.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. And what about motorcycles?
I do ride a motorcycle.
Yes, you're an awesome girl.
I've been really, really busy this year. I haven't been on it that much this summer, but I do plan a trip to Fayetteville later this summer.
Okay, yeah, there's some good hills and scenery down there. What kind of bike do you have?
I have a 2015 Harley Street Glide.
Love it. And what is it all blacked out? What color is it?
No, it's Moroccan gold.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wow.
There you go. So drivers, be responsible. Pay attention to the motorcycle riders. All right. I love that. Okay, George, do you have an unusual habit or something absurd that you do that you might want to share with our listeners?
So I am really a creature of habit. I don't do, and almost boring. I really don't do a lot of things. We go to the lake as a family, and I work, and we chase our kids around activities, but we're empty nesters now, so I don't have basketball games and track meets and cheer competitions to go to all the time. But I think the one habit that I do every day, there's a game called Clash Royale. And my son
is this on your phone?
It's on my phone.
Okay.
My son got me hooked when he was like 10 or 11, and it was something that we could play together.
Yeah.
Right. And He no longer plays, but I still do.
I love
every
that.
day.
Okay.
So
do you just like brag now because like your scores have outscored him, or do you send like some screenshots and let him know how great you are now?
it's funny every once in a while because he'll see me playing. He goes, "Wow!" He goes, "How long have you been playing?" I was like, "Yeah, a long time."
It's like, you're a loser, Dad. I've outgrown that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Miss Mikaela, what about you?
Oh gosh.
I know that's a tough one.
Right.
Yeah. And we don't have to share. That's okay.
I don't.
That's all right. I'll share one of mine. So I love to like clean and organize and be tidy. And so one of my favorite books is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. And so then Marie Kondo made like this little Netflix series a couple years ago, but I read the book a long time ago. And so I love all of my drawers and my closet and shoes and belts, everything, socks, to all be Roy G. Bived, like the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Like, and so then white's on one end and black's on the other. And so like so much to the point, and like she's got specific ways of folding things and like really just respecting the things that you own. So it's to the point where I'm like, my son, and he hasn't in a long time, but he'd have friends come over and like open my drawer of like shirts or shorts and be like, look at how organized my mom is. This is sick. I don't know. It just brings me joy.
I would really like for you to come over to
Okay.
my house.
Right. Yeah. Do you consult?
Yes. I just need pizza and Tito's, and then we're good. That's
Right?
what I need the payment in. Yeah, no worries. Okay. So then, what is, Mikaela, for you, what is a failure or an apparent failure? One that you could recall that at the time you thought it was, devastating, and looking back has actually been good. It's turned for good.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it was a failure by any means. I used to own wireless stores, and
Wow.
it by far was not a failure. It was actually a huge success.
So before you became a realtor?
Before
in
I became
05?
a realtor,
Okay.
yes. I owned them for about 10 years, and they were highly successful, but at that point, I really wanted to become a real estate agent, and I thought, I could be Superwoman and do both at the same time.
Yes.
And so in 2005, I did get my real estate license, and for about 6 months, I did both, and there was no way I could do both and put 100% into both.
Sure.
So I went ahead and I sold those stores, and it was the absolute best thing I could have ever done. I was able to sell it for, a decent amount of money and be able to have a huge amount of client base from my wireless stores that I had for years and years that trusted me through that business.
Sure.
And were able to go forward with my real estate career.
That's incredible.
It definitely wasn't a failure by any means, but it was time for me to move on.
Big transition.
Yes.
That is really cool. I bet no one knows that. I don't remember learning that about you. And I know I don't think that was in your story. That's really cool.
It might not have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Were all of those stores here in Wichita?
They were.
That is cool. All right. I like that. Interesting. Let's see. George, what is something that you have gotten really good at saying no to?
Can we edit this out?
Yes, we can edit. Yeah. Can we edit that going out? Okay. That's fine.
No. I've gotten a lot more comfortable telling real estate agents no.
Okay. And how so?
When there's a denied claim, which doesn't happen very often.
Okay.
If we've adjudicated the claim properly, based on the information provided, I've gotten a lot more comfortable telling agents or homeowners no.
Like, give us an example.
So we don't cover acts of God, like a lightning strike.
Okay.
So if a claim gets reported that something got struck by lightning, that
And,
really
wiped out all the appliances.
Yeah, I mean that really becomes a homeowner's insurance.
Insurance, sure.
Sure.
Okay.
But early in my career, any adversity or any bad claim experiences or something like that would make me very nervous.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Or
want
you wanted to people please or fix
yeah,
everything.
and I didn't want to tell agents no, and I didn't want to tell homeowners no. I mean, they're already in a negative frame of reference, right? But I've just become comfortable over the years that I've learned to always, I don't jump to conclusions, gather all the facts, make sure I have all the information. I've learned the right questions to ask. But certainly when we have a situation where something is, the no is appropriate on the claim, I've gotten comfortable about being able to say no. And it's not always a great no for the homeowners, the agents.
Sure.
But I've gotten comfortable with it because I feel like we're doing, at least still doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And for our listeners, I mean, Mikaela and I are very well versed in exactly what Achosa is and what you offer, but tell our listeners why you're different. I guess we should have done that right off the bat. Like, why would someone choose Achosa?
Because we're the Uber in a taxi world.
I love that.
So,
go more. Tell us more.
Right. So our value proposition is very unique. Our founder started the company about 5 years ago, and they came from the traditional home warranty space with about 10 years experience. And there's just this constant vicious cycle in traditional home warranty of bad claims experiences, customer frustrations, peril for homeowners.
I see it on Facebook almost daily.
All the time, especially this time of year. AC season is the busiest season for us. And they said there's got to be a better way to do this. And so they came up with the business model where the homeowner is put in control of the claim situation. The homeowner hires the local contractor that they know and trust. We pay that contractor their retail rate. So it becomes a win-win for not just the homeowner, but also for the contractor.
Yeah.
And what it's done is to my knowledge, we're still the only home warranty company that has this exclusive model, which is crazy.
Is a no-brainer.
Crazy.
It seems like a no-brainer to put that power back in the homeowner's hands.
And we let's just say that even during the pandemic, we have grown substantially. And I think with this shift in the market, it's going to explode for us. But it's just a business model that actually turns negative frame of reference claims into positive experiences for homeowners. And so the value proposition is huge when you put the homeowner in control of the
customer
situation.
service. Yeah. When that's priority, you can't really lose.
Yeah. I don't deal with escalated claim situations anymore because we don't have them.
Good. Winning. I like that.
It's awesome.
Good. Yes, I do. And I love that. And that's why when I first met you and learned of this, I was like, all of Wichita real estate needs to know this. Like you can't tell me no. You have to become a business partner. Like we need to spread the word. Like this is the rising tide, raises all ships. Like this is just good for everybody involved.
It is a game changer. And so many times you hear, oh, this is a game changer. And it sounds like a sales pitch and it sounds like something different, but it really is. And it has been. So
I would agree. So, Miss Mikaela, what does an average day look like for you? You've got your daughters in the business, you've teamed up with Toby, you've got, about a dozen people and together, but what does a normal day in real estate look like for you?
Well, a normal day for me, I spend a lot of time in my car.
Yeah.
I've got a great office that I try to be in at least 2 or 3 hours a day in, so that way I can try to get myself organized.
Yeah. Answer all these things, the emails.
Right. I receive probably about 200 emails a day.
Oh, God bless you.
Yes.
No thanks.
But, a lot of showings. I usually have, anywhere from, 5 to 10 showings a day. And then, hopefully I'm at least writing, a couple offers a day.
Right.
It doesn't always happen, but, and then just trying to, delegate, leads to my team.
Very good. That's really encouraging, though, that you've been in the real estate industry this long, that you're still operating at a very high level, very high quality. You still have a team, but you're still out there doing some of those things in the trenches that a lot of agents try to work themselves out of or delegate out of. So you're still in it. You still know the language. You're in the trenches. You've got your fingers on the pulse, and that's encouraging. I love to hear that. Yeah, you're not out of touch with what's really happening right now.
Right. Well, I'm not going to. I don't have buyer's agents. I work with my own people. I don't hand them off to anyone. So I mean, my repeat buyers and sellers, they come to me, and because they want to work with me.
Yeah, I love that. So then you're saying everyone on your team is well-versed in all aspects of the entire transaction, both sides?
Correct.
Yep, that's smart.
They do their own listings.
Perfect.
And then they work with their own buyers.
Very good. Okay. All right. So then what is, these are some like more of those like personal preferences, if you will, but do you guys have a favorite book or a book that maybe you find yourself gifting to others over and over again?
I do. I have 2, actually.
You can only choose one. No, I'm kidding, George. Okay, go ahead. We'll allow it this time.
The first one for me was Extreme Ownership.
Okay.
Jocko Willink and Leif Babbitt.
Jocko has a great podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's what we're aspiring to be one day.
It transformed me as a leader because throughout that book, he talks about the accountability of leaders to communicate the right message. I mean, there's a lot to that book, but that essentially is what it boils down to. And if the people that are reporting to you or the people on your team don't execute the plan or the vision that you have, the first thing you have to do is say, did I deliver the message right?
That's right.
Did I explain it correctly? And for them to go through that process where when they were in Ramadi, Iraq, doing house-to-house searches, making sure that the safety of everybody on their SEAL team was safe, and if they didn't communicate everything properly, it was literally life and death.
Right.
It seems like it's pretty easy to apply that to business and what you do in your life, right?
Yeah, in little old Midwest,
Right.
USA.
And so for me, it transformed me as leader to make sure that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do to communicate things right. Now, back not in leadership anymore, it certainly has an impact. But the second book, and I just have read it, I'm on my second go with it, is Winning by Tim Grover.
Okay.
And it really resonates with me because Michael Jordan is a central part of that. He was Michael Jordan's trainer, and then he trained Kobe. And it just talks about if you really want to win at a high level, it is really a sacrifice. And winning is, everybody wants to win. Everybody says, oh, I want to win.
Mm-hmm.
I want to win.
Yeah.
But to win at an elite level takes incredible sacrifice and discipline and hard work. And I don't do it. I mean, I'll be the first one to admit I don't do it. But I have a better understanding of what that sacrifice and that hard work means if you want to get to the elite level in whatever you do, whether it's real estate.
That's right.
Or home warranty or any kind of sales. But it's been a very impactful book.
Yeah, you got to trade something for something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, Miss Mikaela.
Well, I think one of the books that I've gifted, actually a couple of them, but, I read a lot of the Dave Ramsey books. Mm-hmm. I follow a lot of his podcasts and everything. So I always have a stack of his books in my office. But Rachel Hollis, she has several books out, but Girl, Wash Your Face. That's a good one. That
was a good one.
Most of the people on my team are girls, and a lot of them are younger. And so a lot of that book I've kind of passed around because a lot of them come in and they're worried that they're not good enough or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, I give that book to them, and they have actually read that before. So
very good. So do you guys actually read the books, or are you more audible?
I read it.
Okay.
Extreme Ownership, I only did the audio.
Okay.
And it was a great listen.
Yeah.
And I'll still go back and listen to it. Winning, I listened to it twice and then decided I have to read this because I have to take notes.
Yes, or like
and digest it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm actually listened to it twice and I'm on my first read through right now.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
great. I like it. I'll have to listen to the Winning one because I'm an Audible girl. Because I'm in the car a lot too, like you. Like it's just easier to listen to that. Right. All right. If you guys had a gigantic billboard in Wichita, what would it say? By the way, if for our listeners and viewers, your ads in the magazine are some of the most favorite. And I would say that the one in Valentine's Day where it's basically like this hot, shirtless firefighter, talking about, I don't even.
You get to choose.
Yeah.
Does it matter what it says?
It doesn't even matter what it said. I don't know. It doesn't. But what I would see, because you ran it for 2 years now in a row, so I'm like, just keep running this every February. Women taking pictures of an Atosa ad in Real Producers and putting it on Facebook. They're like, yes, we want more advertising like this. And I'm like, I love it. I love having fun with that. But not to have, tainted what your answer might have been. But yeah, if you had a billboard, what would be?
It would probably be that one.
Winning.
We
can call Liz, Elizabeth at Farha at Midwest Billboards, and we'll get that taken care of for you.
That print ad has gotten more run than anything we've done.
Well, majority of the people in real estate are women. It's 2/3 to 1/3.
And actually this year I did it in we use BombBomb for our touches, media our mass touches. And I actually included it in a BombBomb this year for the first time. And
smart. Know your audience. You just have to know your audience.
So many responses.
There you go. So. Yeah, memorable. All right, Mikaela, what would you have if you had a billboard?
Well, I do have a billboard.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yay.
Where is your billboard?
It is at 37th and Ridge.
Okay.
So the company gives me that.
Okay.
I don't have it every single month, but I have it probably at least 90% of the time.
Okay.
And that's based on PenFed memberships. So I have it a lot of the time.
Okay.
So, and actually it has my new picture on there that you actually
Oh, wonderful.
awesome.
Well, blue is your
Yes.
color. It surely is your color.
It's Achosa
So-
blue.
It's and it's
Right,
RP
there you
blue.
go.
Yeah.
Winning.
Right? There we go.
All right, I love that. Okay, so what? Let me see. What would you think is the best recommendation that you could give to anyone wanting to get into the real estate industry right now in Wichita?
I'll defer to Mikaela on that one.
Okay.
Well, that's really tough. You know, before I used to encourage it. Now it's a little, you know, they really need to think very seriously about it. It's so competitive right now with the inventory shortage the way it is. If it's their only income, you know, they're having to really compete against some really heavy hitters out there. I think that we will probably see a lot of agents probably drop off maybe. Yeah. So I think that it's probably something that it's not something just to jump into. They really need to be extremely committed, very, very, very driven, and not think that it's something that
It's not easy money.
it's
not a
not
quick
easy
fix.
money. No, absolutely not. Getting into this business, even with my wireless business, you know, the joke has always been with my family that my kids' friends didn't know that they had a mom. And
again, going back to the
Exactly.
sacrifices that you have to make, but that's why you are a realtor at a very high level for all these years, almost 20 years now.
so it's not something to be taken lightly. I
that's
think that a
wise.
lot of people think that it is easy money, and it's not.
No, you're
So-
right. It is. It's a very difficult grind at that.
Right.
Yep, I think that's wise. Okay. All right. So let's go over just a couple of speed round questions. These are just fun and goofy and silly, and there's no right or wrong. And then we'll wrap this up and let you guys get on with your day. So, would you rather, and this is for both of you, be covered in furs or scales?
Who doesn't look good in a fur coat?
Ooh,
But I really relate it back to, I'm a dog person. So,
yes.
you know, our four-legged friends, they seem to be incredibly happy in their fur
Yes.
coats.
Yep. Yeah. What about you, Mikaela?
Definitely fur.
Okay. Would you rather spend the rest of your life on a sailboat or in an RV?
I think an RV because I can actually roll up to the ocean or a lake.
Yeah. As beautiful and serene as the ocean is, there are so many beautiful things in this world. And I think to drive around in an RV and see all the different wonders, that'd be it for sure.
Okay. All right. Would you rather move to a new city every week or never leave Wichita?
Well, I don't live in Wichita.
Well,
so
okay, let's pretend.
but I do love Wichita. I love the ICT.
Because you're in Nix, Missouri, right?
Yep.
So then we'll just apply it to that. Would you rather move and explore once a week or just stay put in Nix forever?
I would love to move. I love, I mean, if on those two choices, right?
Yeah, if those are the only choices.
But I love getting out and looking and finding local restaurants and local places and seeing the different cultures in the different communities. I'm a big fan of that.
Okay. Well, I can't help myself, but when you need to explore Wichita some more, you can just look at Be Local.
Right.
All right, Mikaela, what would you do?
If money was never an
Money is
never an issue,
there are no constraints with these questions.
then moving every week, definitely.
Yeah, just to explore and see the whole world. Good. Okay. Would you rather trade bodies with your spouse or a kid for the day?
Definitely a kid.
Yeah. My son is a 19-year-old athlete with 3% body fat. I think I'd probably rather be him.
Youth is wasted on the young, is it
Right.
not? Okay, very good. And then last question, would you rather lose the ability to read or write?
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Going
You can-
back to books.
Yeah, you can still learn by
'Cause
reading.
you can still speak.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, I love it. Here in closing, any last points that you would like the Wichita real estate market to know about you guys, or any asks, any call to actions?
You know, I think going back to the home warranties, I think I just want to get the point across that, you know, as a fellow realtor, I think it's just really important to get across, you know, to take care of your clients by making sure that they're protected by having a home warranty, whether it's this, if the seller's not paying for it, make sure that they're getting one themselves.
Yeah, maybe a closing gift.
Yeah, or a closing
Take it out of your own commission. Do the right thing. Yeah,
Right.
I would agree with that. Thank you for stating that.
Right. Yeah. I think the funniest response that I get sometimes from agents when we talk about our value proposition and giving Achosa a chance is when an agent says, well, I work with so-and-so and I absolutely love her. I'm like, well, that's great. Why do you love her? Well, it's because when there's a problem, she makes it go away. And I'm always like, but wouldn't you rather use a home warranty company that doesn't have a problem or put your client in peril in the first place? And usually the deer in the headlights look when they get that, it's kind of funny. I'm like, look, I know we develop friendships outside of the business that we do. Let that person still be your friend, but put your client in the right place by using Achosa versus one of our competitors.
That's right. The fiduciary obligation over the good feels.
Yes, absolutely.
I would agree. Proactive is so much better than reactive.
Right.
Cool. Well, thank you guys. It was a pleasure to visit with you. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule. And that's a wrap on this episode of Beyond the Pages. Thank you guys.
Thank you.